welcome back. We are looking at Led Zeppelin's Gallows Pole in this video. Great acoustic tune to play. You get a very kind of folksy, guitaristic, acoustic riff, and then you go into this like blues kind of rock riff, which to have that, to have those two contrasting styles in one piece of music is one, it's a lot of fun to play, and sounds great. It's an awesome tune. So I'll say this: the form is a little odd. It's really just three pieces that we're putting together. It's just a matter of figuring out how those pieces go together. So, Zeppelin, like some other bands around that same time, would kind of mess with the form. It wouldn't stay like completely symmetrical. Some verses would run a little longer, or they might extend a chord progression here and there, but it's all the same information. It's just like maybe a chord rings out a little bit longer or something. So you got to go and listen to it. It's not too complicated. It's just a matter of getting your ears involved. But we really just have three chord riffs that we're looking at here, and the first one that we hear at the beginning of the tune is probably the most difficult to transition. So we're starting off with an A major chord, and as we're strumming, we're lifting our finger, whichever finger you have on string 2, we're lifting that up to the open B. To an A minor 7 chord. So that's so I'm playing my A major finger 2, 3, 4 on the 2nd fret of strings 4, 3, 2, and then for my A minor 7, finger 2 stays on string 4, and finger 1, string 2, fret 1. Everything else in the chord is open. I like the fingering 2, 3, 4 for the A major because it makes it easy to get to that other shape, which is possibly how he came up with the riff in the first place. Never know. So we've got and then I may have played like another open string there earlier, so it's just one open string, and then A minor 7, strum that a few times, slide up 2 frets. And then once I slide in, that's like equivalent to a strum. And then I strum up, down, up, and I put my pinky on string 1, fret 5. I'm using my pinky. You may find another finger that you like, but you have to hold on to these notes. All right? So it's A major, lift the pinky, A minor 7, slide, pinky goes down. Now I'll call that out with the strumming directions. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, slide, up, down, up. So putting that pinky down on that last strum is going to make it a little bit difficult to get that jump. So playing this slowly is gonna pay dividends because you don't want it to be too sloppy. You'll hear him; he'll play that riff differently. Sometimes he plays this note earlier. You can improvise it a little bit if that's what he's doing. It's not the same thing every single time, but it's nice to think of it one way to learn it, and then you can manipulate it. So let's play that. We'll just cycle that, and I'll speed it up little by little. watch how that left hand moves. Even if you're familiar with the A major, the A minor 7 chord, all that stuff, you really want to watch how that left hand moves, have as efficient a movement as possible. So you basically go through that a few times, 3 times, and then you'll have a G, and then a D. So all over again. So that's the main, that's the riff of the first verse. And then there's this little transition where it's basically making its way to the blues rock riff. So that's going to be just your A major, G major, and D major chords. And it's going to be in this order: A major, G major, D major, G major, A major, D major, G for a full measure here, and then A, G, D, G, stay on G, D, and that's when we're going to get into the blues rock riff. So every 2 beats, or basically every chord, is just down, down, up, down, down, up. The G chord hangs around for 4 beats a couple times, but other than that, you're just transitioning every 2 beats. So it's A, G, D, G, A, D, G, A, G, D, G, G, D. Let's cycle that a couple times. Even open chords and the riff that they come up with, it's fun to play, and it's really moving at a good tempo. So that's the transition, and then we get into the blues rock riff, which is very fun to play, but a lot easier than the first verse. So basically all we have going on is a G bass note, string 6 fret 3, then an A5 chord. Could be an A major chord, but if we get the A5, it's going to sound just fine. That's definitely blues and rock oriented, so that's going to be the easiest way to play it, is with a bar. So if you're not getting that C sharp, then not a big deal. So the first measure is just a short G, short A5 chord or A chord, short G again, short A chord. So that's one thing to get down, is pulsing back and forth between those 2 things. You don't want them to be long. It's just not going to have the same groove. So, right? Use the left hand to mute those strings. Then you're just holding onto your A chord. I use my left hand to cover the strings here, these extra fingers, right? And you rake down, up, and then you strum down, up. And then you rake down, up, and then you strum down, up. So all of that together would be G, A chord, G, A chord, rake, rake, strum, strum, rake, rake, strum, strum. I'm just strumming the same A chord. That's all I've got going on there. So G, A, G, A, rake, rake, strum, strum, rake, rake, strum, strum, G, A, G, A, rake, rake, A, rake, rake, A. So that is essentially replacing It's another A riff. Obviously it sounds different, but they complement each other very well, or at least the transition really connects them together. So you play this. Times, and then you go to G, D, and then back into the riff. So it's the same layout as what we were doing here. We played that whole riff 3 times, and then G major and D major. So let's cycle that a little bit. We'll speed it up as we go. So. Guys, listen to the song a lot. Like I said, the verses can be kind of odd in terms of their lengths, so you just got to figure out where the where the transitions happen. There's little tags thrown in there, but it's all that same information, right? Just use your ears, listen to the sound, and you'll recognize, oh yeah, I already know that part, but it's just kind of like cut and paste in a sense. Have fun with that. It's a great song to play. Cool little acoustic rock song. Let me know if you have any questions, and see you in the next video. Thanks.